I found that good tour guides are very knowledgeable and excellent sources for insights into the land of the Bible. I had to be on my intellectual toes for a proper interview with Sarel Assistant Manager David Katz. David, tell me, you live in Beit Shemesh, and obviously every geographical city and location has a name. What is the meaning of Beit Shemesh, and tell us a little bit about it?
The name Beit Shemesh means the house of sun. And Beit Shemesh in biblical times was a Philistine city. We have a tell there, an archaeological site that has been untapped, probably because of lack of funding. In fact, the main road goes over what my neighbors who are archaeologists tell me have to be some of the most fantastic treasures that are there, but they're under the main road, unfortunately. Hopefully someday we'll get enough funding to actually do some work on this tell. Beit Shemesh, as you remember, in biblical times, was a Philistine city. It's one of the places where the Ark of the Covenant was kept before David could bring it up to Jerusalem. And of course the inhabitants were inflicted with some pretty unpleasant results of their handling and mishandling of the Ark of the Covenant.
It seems like this land has always been a focus of conflict. Back then, it was the struggle between Philistines and Israelites over the Promised Land. After a 20th century Jewish exile, it was the Arabs who sought to prevent our return. And since Jerusalem's Western Gate is the focus of this edition of Roots and Reflections, we've come to the Castel, the scene of some of the most bitter fighting in Israel's war for independence.
Castel, was a Crusader fortress, and it was a fortified castle that used to control the road to Jerusalem. The battle over the Castel was a turning point in the War for Independence, because during the fights there, it ended with the death of Abd al-Qadir al-Husseini, who was the commander, the Muslim commander, and the rumors spread out about his death, which actually gave a great advantage to the Israelis.
Well, here we see a map of Israel. We're right now in the park of the Castel, overlooking the highway up to Jerusalem. And you can see that this circle represents Jerusalem. However, we are on a roadway that goes up to Jerusalem, which is where the Arab Legion armies kept trying to squeeze or strangulate the city of Jerusalem in the War for Independence. We see on the sign that buses were attacked, where 6 people were killed on November 30th, 1947, right here by the Castel. So this was a crucial place that battle erupted. Let's walk up to the fortress. These are the trenches they fought in 1947. These are the trenches. Don't wake up anybody, but we're gonna walk through and look at it for ourselves. Come on, let's go. The battle for Castel raged for months, from late 1947 through April 1948. This was the key for control of the Western Gate to Jerusalem. In Arab hands, it meant the fall of Jewish West Jerusalem. In Israeli hands, it meant life for the city's 100,000 residents. This fortified hill was taken and retaken numerous times as Arabs from surrounding villages converged on Castel, trying to tighten the noose around Jerusalem. It was only after the death of their revered commander Abd al-Qadir Husseini that Palmach forces finally managed to secure Castel. Here at the Castel, they tried to strangle Jerusalem and cut off the food convoys. But listen, right over my shoulders behind me, let me tell you, they couldn't stop a kosher McDonald's from coming. We're just about there. We're almost at the top. We're standing right by the memorial on top of the Castel. And this was, as we've been saying, the road that came up to Jerusalem, of which the siege was broken so the people of Israel could live. So between December 1947 and April 1948, Behind me, we see on the blue sign that explains the memorial to all those fallen who fought for the liberation of Castel. Wow, the sun shines in January here in Israel. This is great. And I have a surprise for you. Look at the first almond blossoms off the tree. Is this gorgeous? An amazing thing about Israel is that a mere countryside walk can reveal spiritual gems. I decided to ask well-known Jerusalem-based Bible teacher and speaker Lance Lambert about the significance of the almond tree. It says, "Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron of the house of Levi had sprouted and put forth buds, had produced blossoms, and yielded ripe almonds." What is the significance of the almond tree? It's so beautiful.
It has become a symbol of resurrection. So in the Bible, the almond tree is the symbol of resurrection life, and with it new power and new fruitfulness. With Aaron, of course, there was a rebellion. And the Lord said to Moses, put the rods of those who've rebelled, the leaders that have rebelled, and said, who is Aaron? Why should we not also be rulers along with him? Put it all in the tabernacle, in the tent of witness, of testimony, and I will sort out this problem. And the rods of the others remained dead wood. But the incredible thing is that Aaron's rod sprouted, leaved, blossomed, and fruited. That is, the whole seasons. It went through the whole in one night.
It's the only tree in Israel that blossoms in the winter, in the middle of the storm, the snow, the rain, and is coming alive. Remember that the rod of Aaron was from almond tree. The almond tree is the beauteous picture of the resurrected Messiah. You see, like a stick of Aaron, it was in the tabernacle all the night, in dark, in cold, and suddenly in the morning it blossoms, when nobody is expecting. And the same with the almond tree. Nobody is expecting, and suddenly Israel is blossoms. And Israel is a kind of representative, symbolic representative of the almond tree. When everything in winter is dying, go to Europe, right? Everything is under snow. Here in Israel, you have life. And I think that's what we have here in this country.
After seeing those beautiful almond trees in bloom, let's join my wife Batya for a musical interlude. For your donation listed on the screen or more, we would love to send you our latest music DVD called Timeless Sounds, produced entirely in Israel.
Save your people.